This video is about using Vica31, which is a punching preparation program for Vica30, the three-phase motor design program from acmotorcad.com. This is the program. It reads in, no, it doesn't read in. It lets you type in the punching parameters. So let's start with a rotor. It needs a punching ID for the printouts. Slot type 1. I use decimal points every place. Width at the top. This is a rectangular slot. Make it a big motor. I don't know. Trapezoidal depth is sort of strange for a rectangular slot, but you got to put it in anyway because all the inputs are the same for any of the slot types. Mid stick thickness, punching OD, let's try 8. Punching ID 2, number of slots, we'll do 31. And all inputs okay. Let's take yes. If you want to change it, let's do that. If you want to change it, well, let's change the punching ID to, I don't know. Okay. And then you space over and, oh, I had a mouth depth. Oh, I see. I put a comma in front of that. So now let's put 0.04. So it's giving me, oh, this is going to be the same. All inputs okay. Now let's say yes. Got a tooth -W of 30, minus 30. Well, that's garbage. I'm not sure what I did. But anyway, the experimental and theoretical factors that have to be calculated, which are rather complex, are in the punching file now. And that's really the whole reason for the punching file. Print outputs. Well, that's for an old serial printer. And won't work. So what you do is you write it to disk. I don't know why you wouldn't. And then we'll say Brian example. I think it can be 8 long. VNOT never used file extensions much. So that will be the file name for the stator punching. Okay. And you can do the same thing for a rotor punching. Now, option 2 here will work if I've gone through this initial procedure, but for some reason it won't read anything from disk so that you can change it. You've got to put everything in from new and then you can change it. Same thing with a rotor. So we'll exit and see what we've got. Yes. I've got Vica31 under Vica30 because it's used for Vica30, but you can organize it any way you want. Again, any place you put the Vica31.exe, that's where your input and output data goes. So here's my text file from this morning. And there's my mistake in there. This obviously is not a good file, but it's, I'm not gonna, I'll make a better video later with valid data, but this is the mechanics of how the program works anyway. And then when you name Brian EX in your Vica30 input file for the stator punching, it goes and it gets all this data. So that's how Vica30 works. Sorry, Vica31 works.